Hello. I'm here tonight to give you some information that you need. A lot of us do not think a great deal about a pastoral visit. Pastoral visits. If you are well trained and you have groomed the family unit, this is a breeze. You won't break a sweat. It's easy. All it takes is a little planning, some information. That's what I'm here for, to give you some information. Not all of the information. That could go on for hours. I'm just going to give you an idea so that you can get your mind turning, so that you can understand the basic tools that you need to have a good PV. A PV is a lot like the perennial visit that you received from your parents when you were in college. Remember how you knew they were coming, so you may have flipped over some posters, and on the back of them, put some, equations on there, or, some quotes that, that really showed them how smart you really were. You always have your big book out, the biology book. Doesn't matter, they don't know what courses you're taking, so, you have that book out, and you've gone to the library, you prepared, you spread out some other biological type, literature, and you have some notes, and it's a little bit disorganized, but not so much to say that you're wasting your money, Mom and Dad. No, you wanted to make sure that they knew that they were spending their money in the right place, and that was on you at that moment. That's like a PV. A PV is not about money or showmanship. It's about eternity. Eternity, it's such a, that's something we really can't grasp. Let me help you. Remember when you were in high school and you asked Gertrude to go to the homecoming dance, and you were there at the lunch table, and you built up the courage and you said those words, and unexpectedly, she blew milk out her nose, and she got up and she ran out of the room. Well, that time from the moment you decided to ask her to the time that you felt it was okay for you to get up out of your chair while everyone was watching you and you left the room, that is just a minuscule part of eternity. Seemed like forever, but no, that was just a little piece. How about the time that you asked your father-in-law for your wife's hand in marriage, and he immediately leaned forward and threw up on his shoes? That awkward silence that was in the room, and no one knowing exactly what to say or do, that is a piece of eternity. So this information has eternal consequences. So you want your pastor pulling for you. He could go first. Then you'd have a man upstairs pulling for you. How can you beat that? But anyhow, the PV. So many people try to go the easy way. They think, you can just go on Amazon.com. You can get this package. Oh yes, you can get the Amazon package. And what does it have in it? 5 Bibles, different translations, maybe a Strong's Concordance. It's going to have a Jesus poster, framed, maybe knocking at the door, holding the lamp, whatever, It's going to have one of those. It's going to have crosses or crucifixes, various sizes. They always look kind of chintzy. Don't fall for this. They have seen this 100 times. They've been selling the same kit for years. And you think you found an easy way out? No. You have to plan. You need your own Bibles. And I'm going to get right down to the Bibles, because that's important. What is the Bible? Don't have a Bible like this out as the Bible. I mean, it's a paraphrase. The last thing you would want is a question. You have to avoid biblical questions at all costs. You can throw out biblical words like gleaming or the wisdom of Solomon, things like that. You can throw those things out, but be careful. You do not want to misquote this book, because like this book here, they say it a different way, I guess, and he probably doesn't like that. A lot of times pastors don't like things. You do not want to have the family Bible just casually thrown open. That book open really, it says a lot. It says your family has trusted you with this. It's very important, and you're the best person in the family, so they gave it to you. That says a lot. Should have white gloves, the white gloves on it. And if you're a rough and tumble guy, you might want to think about like white leather gloves. This has a statement saying, you know, you're a go-getter, but you know, you really want to get into this and read this thing. This one here, this is just the New Testament. That's okay. It really doesn't pass as a Bible book. Look how thick it is. It's because I'm thinking that there's a lot of stuff in here that anyhow, it's a New Testament. It's not one of these. You know, look at the difference. Speaking of these, do not have a pile of these. Last time you went to the men's conference and they were giving out one apiece, and you told me you'd like to have like 4 or 5 for your unsaved friends. Well, everyone knows that these were free, and if you're not paying for it, it don't count. Minimal requirements. Minimum. Remember that word. This is minimum. For every person in the household over the age of 13, 1 Bible per person, plus 2 additional Bibles. That's the minimum. Do not think that this counts. If you have a child in your house over 6 years old, hide this thing, put it at the yard sale, whatever, because all this says is, Pastor, I have not developed my children spiritually. They have not grown above their kindergarten Bible. What that says. I like this Bible. It has the word daily, which implies, you know, daily. That says a lot. You haven't said it. It says it for you. My favorite. Look at this ratter-tattered thing here. I mean, this is a beauty. You know, corners are peeled. You know, how did it come this way? From use. Well, that it fell in the bathtub. But they dry out, and when they dry out like this, and it speaks volumes. Now, the Bible that I use from day to day, of course, it has highlighting in it, and there's things written in here, and you'd want to keep that in a prominent location, you know, because it's important. Your book Bible bag, because you want to protect this thing, you want to have pens, highlighter. Oh, do not let this happen. I mean, what is this? Pioneer Boys registration money, April 2005. I didn't know what to do with it. You know, I was supposed to turn it in. Time has passed. I'm not going to spend it. It's best just to hide that away. If you can't really afford Bibles, that's what small group's all about. Small group is nothing more than a gathering of people that all have some Bibles that are readily available for a PV. So organize that so that you can get your hands on and that at the moment that you need those. Religious items. How many can you have? Unlimited. Posters, pictures, you know, Jesus and the Lamb, Jesus there with that big heart with the barbed wire around it. That's a good one. Jesus knocking at the door. You know, they could be in any place, you know, and you know, you can just plant those anywhere. They really go with everything. Praying hands. Can I say enough? Praying hands. Porcelain praying hands. Different sizes, man, they go everywhere. They hold books up. They'll hold your spoon on the stove. You know, they're invaluable. And once again, they speak volumes. You want a righteous visit here. We're talking a slap high five, chest bumping visit. It's important what you do. Questions that come up. Let's think of a question. Do you have a pen I can borrow? Oh yes. What is this? Church pens. What are you, a thief? You always have fresh pens. You need to put these away for a little while. The unexpected PV. Oh, I can't say this word enough. drill, drill, drill. The family unit is with you with this. You have to inform them of the things they need to do. This is where your church lanyard comes in. The church lanyard. Now, it may be several years old because you really haven't done anything for a long time, but it doesn't matter because your pastor only goes to church on Sunday. He has no idea what goes on Wednesday, doesn't have any idea what they're using. You keep this on the front door. The reason for that, you hear the doorbell ring, you walk, you realize it's a PV. Do not make the mistake of not smiling. You want to smile, you know. You want to simply turn your head, make the announcement to the family unit, PV, PV. They know exactly what to do. Now, you go to the front door and you show a little bit of your lanyard and you explain to the pastor that, you know, it's jammed in the door. That's why you can't open it. Word possibly, very important here. And you give him directions on how to get to the alternate entrance. This can take between 2 and 5 minutes. Stretch it out. Stretch it out. Very important to stretch that out. You want to give your family unit as much time as possible to prepare because they know the door that he's going to be entering. They've already prepared that area. They're working toward the front door so that as the pastor is moving around the building, everything is falling into place. Now this frees you up to help and get everything in place. Okay, once again, drill, drill, drill. Another question that could come up. Jumping back to that, does your wife work? Oh, be careful here. Yes, your wife works, but by saying just yes, it says I'm a poor provider, my wife has to work because I'm a slouch. No, what you're going to say is, yes, she does, Pastor. She works, 10, 15 minutes a day, And then you lead right off into a question because you have the sermon notes close by. That came from preparation. You say, Pastor, that reminds me, I wanted to ask you to clarify a statement you made Sunday, and there you go. You're off that question. It's not a lie. Your wife did work 10 or 15 minutes every day. She definitely does that no matter what she does. So you've got to be careful not to lie. It's like saying, possibly my lanyard's stuck in the door. You don't want to lie. That's wrong. Lying's bad. Just like prepping, just like me prepping you would be bad. I'm just giving you information here. The other thing about books that I forgot to tell you is you should have non-biblical, non-Bibles around. Books like this that you're reading. See, this says God in it. This says God. I'm sure it's a good book. And that says that you like to read hymnals. Ooh. If you have a piano, always have a hymnal out. Now, we like this hymnal because this came from another church. Sometimes you have to visit other churches to get these, or you can get them in yard sales because a lot of times people are feeling guilty and they sell them relatively inexpensive. Or don't forget bartering. You could always, barter, exchange, if you want a more current, So just some ideas, ideas. We've gone over pretty much everything here. We've talked about what decorating and the Bibles and different books. I guess we've covered it all. This could go on for hours if I gave you every detail. But I'm not, telling you what to do. I'm just trying to expand your mind, trying to make sure that you know what needs to be done. We want to make these people happy. They're people too. Yeah, they're people too. I think. Yeah, they are. And I really hope that I've helped you with a successful PV. I really hope so. Oh, one thing. Do not order the full-size inflatable rugged cross. It's plastic. It looks like plastic, and who has an 8-foot rugged cross in their house? If you live in a mobile home, it takes up a lot of room, kind of says, oh, why would you have that here? It doesn't really say devout Christian on it. It's pretty much that you order from chintzy Chinese catalogs. That's just a tidbit. Maybe I'm going to have another follow-up of this called tidbits. You know, PV tidbits. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, remember, you want a righteous visit. High five, chest bump. Make sure you reward your family for doing a good job. All right, until next time, thank you very much. I'm going to go over here and meditate now.